Today, I'd like to offer a specific practice to those with busy minds. How many of you notice that when you sit down to meditate, the mind begins to chatter away, narrating what's happening, remembering old stories, worries, reviewing unfinished business, fantasizing about what ifs, right? It's endless. This is just what the mind does. It thinks. So how do we quiet the busy mind? How do we help it to settle down? Concentration can feel elusive, especially when our minds are incessantly and insistently thinking, which for most of us is the normal state. Sure, we can focus on a task, we can finish reading an article, but sitting and calmly staying attentive and interested for a little while takes practice. We can't force it to quiet down, especially when it's been yammering away at us for most of our lives. So why not give the mind something better to chew on to help it quiet down? Let's kindly feed it some good food. This is where mantras come in. Mantras are common in spiritual practice. They're phrases, words, or sounds that are repeated silently or chanted out loud to collect, calm, and focus the mind on one object. If you've ever gone to a yoga class, you've probably heard the most popular mantra in the world, Om, Om, which is said to be the first sound of the universe and has been used for thousands of years. Om is also common in the Tibetan mantras, such as Om Mani Padme Hum, which basically promotes compassion, wisdom, and enlightenment. A common mantra of Thich Nhat Hanh's is, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Recently, Bill Morgan offered a mantra, not now. Right? And one of his staples is, I'm not in control of the whole universe. And a few weeks ago, I offered another one to all of you, which was ground, breathe, calm, settle, soothe. And here's one more. Shake it loose, let it go. Shake loose the tension and let it go. Or the all-American sigh, that's the mantra. For many of us. Mantras give the mind something simple and meaningful to do, to focus on, to attend to. Just by repeating a simple phrase, a word, or a sound again and again, gathers and strengthens the scattered energies of the mind together that were previously thinking busy thoughts. Now they can attend to something more useful. As the energies unify, the mind begins to quiet down. It's soothed by the rhythmic repetition of the simple, wholesome words. And as the mind calms down, the heart in turn begins to calm down as it senses or picks up the sign of the wholesome words. This is important because concentration isn't just a mind game. The more the heart is involved, the easier it is to attend to the mantra. As the mind and the heart calm down and settle more fully into the body, the nervous system also calms down. In many ways, it doesn't matter what the mantra is, but choosing words and phrases that are meaningful to us, that we can then deliberately invite or encourage the whole of the organism, the mind, the heart mind, and the body to settle down into calm stability. Metta, or loving kindness phrases, are also a type of mantra that can bring about calm stability of concentration. Metta can even bring us all the way to the first of 8 deep states of concentration. Like any mantra, when repeated, they interrupt our usual pattern of thinking. Now, these phrases are not intended to create a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. They focus the mind and they kindle the heart toward goodwill. Remember the saying, what we give attention to strengthens. If we repeatedly give preferential treatment, preferential attention to holding kind, caring thoughts in the mind, well, these will become the habit, the new norm, the default pattern of the mind. Now, as I mentioned earlier, mantras, it doesn't matter what the mantra is, but why not make it meaningful to us? Why not make it so that the heart and the mind are involved? Metta phrases are a very good choice. So they include things like, may I be safe from inner and outer harm. May I be happy. May I be as healthy as possible. May I be peaceful. May I have ease of well-being. And may I love myself just as I am. Now, this last one, may I love myself just as I am, is a good one for most of us modern day folk. Though it's not a classic phrase, in the West, it's often been incorporated to address our cultural trance of unworthiness. Many of us are hard on ourselves, and it takes time, patience, and practice to unlearn the bad habit of thinking and talking unkindly to ourselves. This is worthy to pay attention to give mindful attention to. We want to develop the skills to unlearn harsh talk in here and out there. Now, another phrase that might be helpful is, I'm still a good person. This is popular in our house. Imagine repeating it to yourself when the mind is spinning out in doubt or debasement. I'm still a good person. How wise would it be to have one positive phrase that we can just easily repeat to ourselves throughout the day, and to counter our usual narrative or the negative self-talk? Wouldn't that be a bit more calming? What word or phrase would help you? Over the years, I've tried many phrases to quiet the mind. Sometimes I use metta phrases, but more often these days, one word will do. One word points me in the right direction. So I've come to use the words love and peace in conjunction with the breath. I breathe in love on the inhalation, because we all need a little more of that. And I breathe out peace on the exhalation, because the world needs a little more of that. 2 easy words that I can remember. 2 easy words that keep the mind from straying into its usual pattern of thinking. I can be sitting in meditation, walking down the street, having a conversation with a friend. And in the privacy of my mind, I can repeat or let the words float through the sky of the mind as I breathe to help me stay and maintain calm composure. The words themselves are instructive. They point toward an attitude of kindness. Whether you are habitually a chronic thinker or not, let's just take a moment right now, and I'm going to invite you to consider, if you were to pick one sound, one phrase, one word or two to help still the mind and uplift the heart, what might that be? What words could you use to steady attention on that would be helpful? Maybe I am enough. Maybe this too shall pass. Maybe I'm still a good person. Or I love myself just as I am. Or perhaps just one word: calm, love, peace. Just take a moment and consider for yourself. And if you're not sure, then you might just try one of the ones that I've offered this morning. And we're going to use this in our next meditation. Let's give the busy mind good food to chew on for the next little while. We can do this. It's for our welfare and for the welfare of all we encounter. Thank you for your kind attention. All right. And if you will now, locate your bodies, open them up. Let's make some breathing room. Oh. Stretch them out long or tall. Release tension in the vertical axis, in the spine. Maybe gently do a little twist, open up the spine, open up the torso. Settle yourselves in to as comfortable a posture as is possible. Gently close the eyes. If it feels comfortable, let go of the outside world. Bring attention to the interior. Feel into the base of the body and grow tall out of that base of the body. On the inhalation, opening and lifting, opening up the interior, and on the exhalation, softening and settling all the way down around the exterior of the body. And maybe invite a little bit of warmth in the interior, feeling into a few drops of care in there, as if what we're about to do is for our welfare. And with each cycle of breathing, we keep allowing the body to unwind, allowing the breath to have as much room as it needs to breathe. Now, bring forward the phrase or the word or the sound that you've chosen for today. And just drop that inside and breathe with that. Let the words be infused with kindness. Just gently repeat the words or the phrase as many times as is needed to keep the attention here. When the words become dry or tension starts to build, just back off and come back to the simplicity of the holding environment. Reawaken that and begin again. Let's monitor and keep the heart involved. We're kindly attending. Maybe one more time. Drop the phrase in and imbue it with kindness as you breathe. Feed the mind good food. And in the last 5 minutes of the meditation, and drop the phrase and just settle back and settle into a receptive posture. Notice what ease is present and breathe with that. Make much of that experience. And finally, let's add a few drops of appreciation for our own practice and for the support of each other. Each of us alone together, making space for ourselves and each other to be just as we are. And together, we make a field of goodwill.